Hello, fellow murderers. Today is Sunday, July 7th, 2024, and it's a great day to solve a murder. Today we have the mystery of frosting, and we have three 6x6 grids of suspects, locations, and weapons. We are at our luxury high-end international rich people prison, or whatever it's called, and we will have all of the suspects that were the murderers from this past week. And our red murder clue today is Logico determined that the murder took place in the rec room. So we can go ahead and put the where as the rec room, and we will use our clues and evidence and our detective's notebook to figure out who was in the rec room and what weapon they brought. All right, let's re-meet our suspects from this past week. We have Deacon Verdigris, Miss Saffron, Coach Raspberry, Admiral Navy, Brother Brownstone, and Chancellor Tuscany. The weapons today are a pair of literal golden handcuffs, exploding cufflinks, a poison birthday cake, a rope of designer clothes, a bottle of Cabernet toilet wine, and a lawyer. And finally, our locations are the private suite, the Michelin-starred cafeteria, the rec room, the tennis courts, the spa, and the movie theater. All right, let's check out our clues and evidence. Okay, it's an anagram. We've got Chancellor Tuscany, and I think it was seen hanging around wet, so I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, so I think then we're going to put Chancellor Tuscany in the spa. For anyone not familiar with the Sunday puzzles, this is a classic spa clue. Everything in here is wet. So anytime you see a suspect or an object was found wet, that's going to be the spa. So we'll put Chancellor Tuscany in the spa today. Brother Brownstone had a medium weight weapon. All right, let's check the weights. We've got the handcuffs, birthday cake, designer clothes. Okay, we're going to be doing more of an elimination than an inclusion here. So I think the ones that we can't include are the exploding cufflinks and the lawyer. Everything else is medium weight. So we know that Brother Brownstone did not have the cufflinks nor the lawyer. And anything else is fair game because that's a medium weight weapon. All right, Miss Saffron was seen in the private suite. Very straightforward. We'll put that in there. The second tallest suspect never set foot in the movie theater. All right, let's check out. Let's first see who the tallest is. We've got 5'3", 5'2", 6 feet, 5'9", 5'4", 5'5". You know what? I think it is 5'9", Admiral Navy. Just going to double check. Yeah. Okay, so Admiral Navy was not in the movie theater. A golden handcuff key was found beside a non-GMO dinner. Again, this is a classic clue for the Michelin-starred cafeteria, non-GMO. So we're going to put the golden handcuffs in the Michelin-starred cafeteria. A single cufflink was discovered next to a net. That's going to be the tennis courts. So we can put the cufflinks at the tennis courts. That will also tell us that Brother Brownstone... Oh, we already... Yeah, it can tell us that Brother Brownstone was not at the tennis courts. I was going to say did not have the cufflinks, but that's why we can say that. So that's already done. All right. Let's see. Frosting. Oh, okay. So Chancellor Tuscany had the poison birthday cake. Frosting was discovered wet. This may be a bit of a weird clue. It's kind of like the wet wine. Arguably, frosting is already not dry, or hopefully not dry, right? But this is just saying that the poison birthday cake was at the spa. So this is one where you kind of need to ignore any outside logic you can bring there. But there's a full solution for Chancellor Tuscany. And now remember, the murder clue is saying that the rec room is our murder location. So this is a really good example of the title having nothing to do with the solution. So just a warning, I think we've had a few puzzles lately where the title has actually been pretty informative for the solution, but this is not one of them. And so just a good reminder that you should never really base anything off the title. A lot can still happen in the clues there. All right. The second tallest suspect. Wait, we did. Oh, okay. So, okay, we also have, it's still going to be Admiral Navy. Sorry, I got very, very indignant about that before I read it. But the second tallest suspect was seen with the lawyer. So again, we're looking at Admiral Navy, which we already determined that Admiral Navy was the second tallest suspect. So Admiral Navy had the lawyer. And that will also tell us that the lawyer was not in the movie theater. Yes, that's the one we've eliminated. So we can put that there. This fingerprint was found on a bottle of Cabernet toilet wine. That looks like Deacon Verdigris. I'm looking at these being a little larger and kind of wider. It's a similar pattern to Coach Raspberry, but these are thicker here. These lines are. So that's going to be Deacon Verdigris with a bottle of Cabernet toilet wine. All right, now let's see what else that can tell us. We know the location of the golden handcuffs, so we can eliminate that as a possibility for Deacon Verdigris. Similarly, we know the location of the cufflinks, so we can eliminate that. And we know the birthday cake, and that should already be eliminated. Is that it so far? Yes, and let's do that here as well. So we know, let's see. Well, we know Miss Saffron was in the private suite, so we know that Deacon Verdigris would not be there. And so yeah, now these match up with the two we have left here. Now let's do the same thing for Admiral Navy. We know Admiral Navy had the... Okay, here we go. Admiral Navy is the murderer today. Because we know Miss Saffron was in the private suite, that means that Admiral Navy was not. That means the only remaining location was the rec room. So we can put Admiral Navy in the rec room, which is where the murder took place, with the lawyer. So we can go ahead and fill this in. We have Admiral Navy with a lawyer in the rec room. I'm going to flip these over, but before we see if we're right, I'm going to continue explaining this just because there's still a lot that we need to fill in here. So we can see that the rope of designer clothing must have been in the private suite, as that's the only remaining option for this row. So we can put that as Miss Saffron's weapon here. We also have, by process of elimination, the movie theater for Deacon Verdigris with the bottle of Cabernet toilet wine. And why not, while we're at it, we'll just kind of explain all of this. We've got Brother Brownstone with the pair of literal golden handcuffs in the Michelin star cafeteria. And finally, we have the exploding cufflinks with Coach Raspberry on the tennis courts. Okay, so there is everything all filled out. And again, we had Admiral Navy with a lawyer in the rec room. The reason we were able to determine that was we had only one remaining possible location for Admiral Navy, since we knew that Miss Saffron was in the private suite and it was between the private suite and the rec room for Admiral Navy. We were then able to say, since Miss Saffron was in the private suite, Admiral Navy must have been in the rec room, which is where the murder took place, and that's how we solved. All right, so we have, once again, Admiral Navy with a lawyer in the rec room. Let's go ahead and see if we were right. All right, we were right. Thanks so much for playing along with me today. Hope this was a helpful walkthrough, and we'll see you tomorrow.